So Brian Kelly walking away now and back to the huddle. It is hot.
The Ford in Your Future is coming October 7th. The new Ford Fairmont. A new wagon designed for today and the years ahead. The Fairmont wagon has excellent mileage ratings, but while it is trim and lean outside, Fairmont has almost 90% of the passenger space of most large wagons, and with its seat down can swallow up all this cargo. Is Fairmont the Ford in your future? Test drive Fairmont October 7th. Find out for yourself. Fairmont, the newest, better idea from the Wagon Master.
Time to trade in for TouchTune at your Magnavox dealer now. Trade in your old TV for any new Magnavox TouchTune color television and save big. Just in time for football season. And just for touching any TouchTune television, you'll be handed free the official 1977 NFL record manual. Choose from a wide range of prices and styles during trade-in for TouchTune time. Trade and save at your Magnavox dealer now.
Hawkeye hits rock bottom as Radar is wounded in action on MASH. Tuesday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
That's Frank Marion down on the Giant bench. He's really been hustling.
Lloyd. Carson's already gone. The first half, we saw Harry Carson go, so Lloyd is in there, number 54 at middle.
First down for the Cowboys. Ball at the Giant 45. Staubach to the outside to Dennison. Actually, look at that defense now. They've got Lloyd. They've got Brian Kelly. And they got an extra defensive back.
I think Danny White's the quarterback now, too, so we're going to get to see the
young
man from the WFL out of Arizona State.
Who's a fine athlete. Look at this. Seattle got rolling, didn't they?
Yeah.
42-20.
Bengals have a lot of people, don't they?
Cincinnati picked by a lot of people to win all the marbles. They struggled last week against Cleveland, however. Danny White with the forward handoff to Laidlaw. Scott Laidlaw rumbles down inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Stopped by Dan Lloyd.
Now, there are going to be some people say, boy, they're really trying to lay it on. But watch this little move, a little shuttle inside by Danny White. Remember, White hasn't done anything except punt twice. So he's going to try to work on whatever he thinks people want to see him do in the Dallas uniform. So it's very hard to turn off a team that has got these kind of people waiting to play.
Brian Kelly comes out, and now Brad Van Pelt has gone back in with his right arm heavily bandaged. Third down, Cowboys. Danny White, ball batted down.
By Lloyd.
By Dan Lloyd, the linebacker.
Pat, he started to get down into a lineman stance and come, and then it was so hot he just said, to heck with it. He just came from the up stance. Came right in and blocked it. Good play by Lloyd. Boy, this is when you find out where your soul is, when you're having to play today.
20-12, that's the final score. Baltimore over the Jets. Brian Kelly is back in the game now as Efren Herrera will try a 41-yard field goal with number 41 holding. That's plenty of distance. It is good. Cowboys 34, Giants 14. Herrera from 41 yards away makes it Dallas 34, Giants 14. 11:23 left, third period.
Where does your money go after you put it in your bank? Well, some of it's right here, building your neighborhood, construction loans and home mortgages, but also with municipal bonding, money for your public parks, and money for your schools. Today, America's banks have over $80 billion invested in communities like yours. So if you believe in your community, there's no better place to put your money than your bank. America's bankers, helping you change things for the better.
To get ahead these days, you got to keep on your toes. So I've got something to keep my competition flat-footed. Sunoco's penny pinching pump. It has 190. The gas is made to sell below my regular, And $2.20, the gas that sells below my premium. So if your car runs on regular or premium, my pump could save you money on quality gas. Listen, if I don't want you to go right by me, I got to do right by you.
Sunoco's penny pinching pump can fill up your tank for less. That's my way of being very friendly.
Our friend Herrera.
He's trying to crush the ball.
Yeah. Checking out the pressure. Gordon Bell and Emery Moorhead. Back deep for the Giants. Bobby Hammond getting a rest.
After 68-yard punt return, let's see if Bell can maybe turn the Giants on a little bit.
I see Hammond sitting down on the bench with a towel draped across his head. Try to shut out some of the heat. Line drive kick. I believe that's Willie Spencer. No, that's Beasley Reese. The Giants got him from Dallas. He wears glasses underneath that helmet.
Tell you one thing, he uses the helmet well. He took a head-on shot and made a pretty good return out, and the Giants don't have bad field position. 16-3. There's a shocker, but not really. Cardinals had too much offense to go around getting shut out like they did against Denver.
Speaks well for Denver, doesn't it?
Boy, it sure does.
First down, the Giants. Ball at their own 34. 11 minutes, 14 seconds left in the third period. Dallas still has most of the regulars on defense playing. Doug Coter and Larry Zonka, running back. Well, there's a guy who looks like a different guy from what he did 4 or 5 years ago.
Tell you one thing, he's just beefed himself up. He's still a good-looking athlete. We're talking about Waters now. Watch him come through. He read his keys. He knows it's the run. Coter never goes down easily. But 41 made a tackle last week against Foreman we thought was unusual, too, because it was such a clamp, such a firm one.
About a 4-yard loss for Coter on first down, so we'll make it 2nd and 14. Pisarcik, the quarterback. Like somebody moved in the middle of that Giant line. It's thrown behind Coter.
Gregory might have made the premature move a little bit on the nose. Pisarcik must have had a little bit of a staggered count. I thought he gave a little bit of a bob, but got away with it.
Check out who's playing defense for Dallas now. Randy White. There's Jerry Goldstein sitting on the sideline on the Giant bench. Dallas defense is Ed Jones, Jethro Pugh, Randy White, and Harvey Martin. That's the front four.
It was Jethro. I'm sorry. I gave that to Gregory, and that's not fair because Gregory just came back on the active list, didn't he?
Offside.
He missed last week.
Defense. 2nd down.
Benny Barnes, one of the cornerbacks. Mel Renfro had been one, but now he goes out along with Randy Hughes. Aaron Kyle on one corner, Benny Barnes the other. The safety men are Harris and Waters.
They got the net out there now. They got the fast linebackers and 5 secondary men.
That is a final score. Washington beat Atlanta 10-6. Pisarcik to throw. Across the middle to Zonka. First down for Larry Zonka. Bob Brunig made the tackle, and Tom, you know, you pointed that out to me before. We had not mentioned, I think, maybe only once in the entire first half, Bob Brunig.
And that means that defensive line is doing such a job that he just has been maintaining, right? Good play by Tucker, who is at 222 this year, but looks smaller. I think Bob Tucker might have a great year, but that's the first time they found him this afternoon.
I believe I said it was Zonka, didn't I? Whatever, it's the first down. And the ball goes to Coter off the right side with not much doing. Houston, Green Bay in the fourth period tied 10-10. Coter comes back. Joe Pisarcik, quite a story. Some experience in Canada, but not in the NFL. In fact, the Giants began the season with no quarterback who had thrown a pass in NFL competition in the regular season.
That's bold.
Courageous. 2nd and 9 situation as Coter comes in motion to the left. Pisarcik throws inside Robinson. Spun down by Cliff Harris. But close to a Giant first down again.
Robinson had a touchdown pass against the Cowboys a year ago, and he makes a heck of a move, and only a great tackler might be able to say that. What's the tackle by Harris? I think we've told you before, of all the safety men I know around, the free safeties, I think number 43 is the best one.
It's a pretty good endorsement. 16-6 now. The Cardinals over the Bears. That's in the fourth quarter. Bobby Hammond and Larry Zonka now the running backs on first down for New York. Ball at the 42 and Hammond. Zonka to the left side. Good fake by Pisarcik. Aaron Kyle had to come from the cornerback position to make the tackle.
Watch Van Horn's block on Randy White to the left. They cross block. Hill takes Randy White out. And Zonka hit the hole like the old Zonk. Wide open and full out. And that's one tackle that Cliff Harris won't want to make all afternoon.
You stop and start thinking about if the Giants do get 7 here, that would make it 34-21. And we might be creating another game here. Bobby Hammond and Willie Spencer now the running backs, and this is Spencer. He broke a couple, got down to the 25.
He is big. He broke the tackle that Randy White laid on him, but there's a final score. The Lions 23, New Orleans 19. Stram won the exhibition season, but as we found out, preseason games really aren't the same.
The Lions even their record at 1-1. New Orleans now 0-2. A couple of high-scoring affairs. They lost to Green Bay last week. Second down now, and 7. Ball at the Dallas 25. Spencer goes in motion. Pisarcik throws back to Hammond. Bobby Hammond gets inside the 20. Thomas Henderson, one of the tacklers.
Good play selection. Looks like a different offense than the Giants were running earlier. Maybe Joe's just now getting his feet down. Man in motion. Now he's the lead blocker. The toss back. And I'll tell you, the Hammond gets in there. He's a tough, short little running back. Good offensive series by the Giants. And the Dallas people are in there. The first team is still on the line of scrimmage.
You saw perhaps Pisarcik indicating to the bench that they only need about a foot for a first down, and so Zonka comes back in. It's third down. Spencer comes out.
Trying to keep fresh running backs, if at all possible, in there.
Pisarcik now has asked for a measurement, and they had to bring the chains all the way from the other side of the field.
It's pretty smart, even if he's a yard off either way, just to get a breather and talk to the bench.
His initial measurement was just about right. 7 minutes, 19 seconds left in the third period. The score is Dallas 34, the Giants 14. But the Giants are on the march. Tom Brookshire and Pat Summerall at Texas Stadium in Dallas.
You know, Pisarcik's a pretty good-sized guy, too. He's 6'4", 210 pounds. Big and bony. And running a pretty good offensive series right now.
He looks very, very confident at the moment. Look at this score. San Diego 16, Kansas City 7. That's the third period score.
The San Diegos have a lot of offensive people, I'll tell you that.
They got shut out by Oakland last week. Now, Pisarcik has called a timeout. There's something wrong with the lineup, he said. And he wants to come over and talk it over. Pisarcik has completed 5 out of 8 for 98 yards, including that 54-yarder to draft choice Johnny Perkins that set up the Giants' first touchdown. Right now, it's 34-14 Dallas over the Giants.
All across our land, people know our brand. You can trust AC. Thanks, AC. Spark plugs by AC. We'll help you smile throughout the miles. You can trust AC. Thanks, AC. Spark plugs by AC. So when you want to go, we're the name to know. You can trust AC. Thanks, AC. Spark plugs by AC. Firing spark plugs by AC.
Maybe you're using Desenex, but to kill the fungus that causes the burning, cracking, and itching of athlete's foot, Aftate is better, much better. It's the killer. Aftate kills all major types of athlete's foot fungus and helps prevent reinfection. In fact, the medication in Aftate has been proven more effective in killing athlete's foot fungus than the medication in Desenex. Aftate is better, much better. It's the killer.
That looks like the team picture.
Yale 1890, but they're legal. They're still on the bench, so to speak, but Dallas players have moved down into the shade as that sun goes by.
A third and about a foot for the Giants. Ball at the Dallas 19, 34-14 score. Zonka back close. That's Bobby Hammond. Got the first down for the Giants. Harvey Martin, Thomas Henderson, Randy White. But a first down Giants. They've hung in there.
I wonder what a Giant touchdown would do to the Dallas psyche right now. I wonder if that would be hard to sort of swallow when you figured you had them knocked out. And then they get the punt return. And now the Giants are on a legitimate door-knocking job.
First and 10. Ball at the 17 now as Hammond comes in motion. Sarchik looks and throws, intended for Hammond, way overthrown, and wisely so because he was well covered. Mike Hegman and Aaron Kyle out close to him.
The freshest people in the stadium seem to be the pom-pom girls here.
But you notice they also are in the shade.
Looks different than where Tom Landry's walking, I'll tell you
Look,
that.
he still got on the coat.
Probably got thermal on under there.
The Yankees 15, Toronto nothing. That's a final score. That red-hot American League.
That's baseball, huh?
Right. Didn't look like it. Sarchik fakes to Zonka. Now throws. Bob Tucker is open. Fumbles out of bounds. Tackled by Cliff Harris. But Bob Tucker got close to a first down.
Got to note that Drew Pearson did have the leg cramps. That's brought on by the tremendous heat. And the Giants linebacker Frank Marion's flat heat exhaustion. He's okay on the bench, but he's just out of gas. Good play by Tucker, huh?
He just sort of sifted out into the open as the Sarchik found him.
He's averaged about 16 yards every time he's touched the ball in this league. Remember, the Eagles had him one time and never threw him a football. The Giants have made a habit of that.
He went from the Eagles to New England, and they didn't throw him the football. First and goal at the 6 for the Giants. They get inside the 5.
That's Zonka.
Zonka straight ahead.
Everybody talks about his speed being slower, but speed was never a prime asset. It's not how fast it went, it's how strong the darn thing was that came on those wheels.
Just under 5 minutes left to play in the third period. Today's attendance, by the way, 64,215, a sellout. Watching the Giants trying to come back. Doug Coter got in. Thomas Henderson had him wrapped up, but Doug Coter scores for the Giants, and John McVay.
Watch the block by Zonka on the outside. There's the one on Barnes that really allowed number 44 to get in there. And we've talked about this running back, Coter, from out of Kentucky. He can find it. He's tough. He's a better inside runner than people think. And Zonka's still a heck of a blocker, too, isn't he?
Doug Coter scores to make it 34-20 now. Joe Danello with Larry Mallory holding. Will try to make it 21. He does. Oh, with 4:42, things get a little bit more interesting, don't they? 4:42 left to play in the third period. It's 34-21. Tom Landry looking on and finding his team all in the shade.
I wonder what he's thinking, though. I know what Tom Landry's saying. He's saying, okay, now, let's go down and get a legitimate drive, either get 3 or get 7 and get this game over with. Don't fool around with this team.
Don't forget the Sports Spectacular. The Super Bowl of Motocross. This is next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The Cup, which is the 5th running, a $250,000 purse. The race is the 2nd of the Fall Triple Crown Handicap for 3-year-olds and up.
What's the world's strongest? What are they lifting? A barrel of what?
Liquid shot, whatever that is. They'll start at 150 pounds.
You can't drink it, can you?
Can if you want to.
If you're strong.
That's going to be all next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the CBS Sports Spectacular. Joe Danello to kick off. Line drive in the direction of Brinson. Out of bounds. Now he'll have to kick from the 30. Boy, on a hot day like this, you don't make too many friends by making them have to do that again.
With either team. This looks like a Hollywood review, you know. These dancing girls here are incredibly in good condition. Or well conditioned, I guess I should say.
Either way is right. 34-21, 4 minutes, 38 seconds.
He kicked that field goal last week, didn't he?
Yes.
At Danilo?
With 3 seconds to go. That 4:38 I mentioned just a minute ago is remaining in the third period. Seems like this has been an awfully long game. Sure not as long for us as it has been for the players. If you were in dark blue. Larry Brinson almost has it go over his head. Starts at the 1. Wheels back up to about the 17. Bill Ellenbogen made the tackle. Let's check out another score.
Oh, good score to put over that nice lady. St. Louis 16, Chicago 13, and the Bears refuse to fall. I just wonder how St. Louis has been stopping Superman Peyton. There's no defense for that girl or Tom Landry's team. Got out of that without any problem.
Landry checking his notes now on the plays he'd like to call. And the crowd getting a little uptight about the thing. 34-21 as the Giants have come back. Roger Staubach is back as the quarterback.
Green, 43.
Left tackle, I believe.
Yes, he did.
For Dallas moved a little bit. Number 71, Andy Frederick, the rookie.
I noticed most of the starters are back in on offense. Fitzgerald's at center.
There's another starter.
Donovan's back in at right tackle. Neely's the only one getting a breather right now. Lawless is in there.
Tom Landry continues to shuttle plays by shuttling his wide receivers to call the plays and get them into Roger Staubach. Here's the violation.
False start. Number 71. Offense. First down.
Carelessness. Now the thing is, if Dallas has one big turnover, which they haven't had, the Giants jump back in this game deep in Dallas territory very quickly now.
That's right. First and 15. Ball at the Dallas 13. Newhouse and Dorsett, the running backs. It is Dorsett looking for some place to go and sifting around for perhaps a couple. John Mendenhall, the first man to hit him. Brad Van Pelt playing with that wrapped right arm. Came over to help.
I'm trying to think back to when I played in tremendous heat like this. And what I'm looking at, I forgot what I was going to say about how hot it was.
Second down, a 2-yard pickup by Dorsett makes it 13 to go. Roger Staubach's going to throw and does. Golden Richard at the 29, taken out by Ernie Jones.
Just enough for the first down. They run those patterns for Ditka till they can do them in their sleep. This is from behind the defense. He'll go just deep enough and turn it out. The tackle is well made by Jones. It's a first down, and out of 1st and 15, they make the first.
Ernie Jones, number 31, is 6'3", 180, a 2-year man from the University of Miami. First down, Dallas. Ball at their own 29. They lead 34-21. Staubach. Newhouse took the forward handoff, but was wrapped up by Brian Kelly almost as soon as he got the ball.
Remember years ago, Brian Kelly was the ball boy for the Cowboys out in Thousand Oaks, wasn't he? Came from Dallas, and now he plays with the Giants.
That's Frank Marion, who, as Tom Brookshire told you before, just had too much heat and just collapsed.
Well, Frederick is playing the left tackle for Dallas. You can see Marion looking around and talking, so he's pretty much all right. But Neely just came down with the heat problem, too, and he might come back, but probably they'd like to rest him. He's had a couple of years.
Roger Staubach on second down. Fires, and the ball was not deflected, but Staubach was hit just as he let it go.
Jack Gregory, I believe, put the shot on him.
That's right.
He had 64 sacks in 5 seasons, Gregory did. That's one of the outstanding totals in football, and we sort of lose sight of that sometimes.
That's right.
Roger is 17 of 24, Patrick, 214 yards. Last one, I guess, was his worst throw.
Third down situation now coming up for Dallas. Ball still at their own 29. Not much to cheer about for Dallas right now as they unveil the shotgun again. Steps up in pocket. Ball bounced off a Newhouse. He made the cut and had enough yardage for the first down. Couldn't hang on.
Van Pelt and Newhouse looked at one another like they wanted to bristle, and they said it's just too darn hot. The ball was not thrown as well as Rogers been throwing them earlier. That was sort of a tail winder, too.
So Danny White, excuse me, Tom.
That's right. That score was up and down. San Francisco over Miami 7-0 in the first period. That's got to be a shocking score.
4th and 10. Danny White standing back at his own 13. Bobby Hammond deep for the Giants. Bobby will get a chance. One heck of an effort by Benny Barnes, who missed him, got up, and got part of the tackle.
Dangerous little ball carrier, too. You better get him as often as you can. Barnes came by him and missed, and then got up and made the tackle, Patrick. You're right.
He got an assist from Thomas Henderson, but the Giants now take over the football at about their own 32-yard line. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the third quarter. It is 34-21.
Have the Giants run a draw with Zonka yet at all? A draw would really get Harvey Martin and those people off his back.
Crowd starts to come alive now, encouraging the Cowboys. It's Coder protecting the football. Ed Jones under the bottom of that, and Coder got very little. Clock continues to run with 2 minutes 25 seconds left third period. Coder comes walking over to the sideline. Bobby Hammond has replaced him, and he's the setback with Zonka now. Bob Tucker still the tight end, tight to the right. Here's Zonka, leaning straight ahead.
In a hurry, he gets there, too. All right, you're looking at him. He's weighing about 228, and the knee is healthy. It still takes a load to work on him.
Harvey Martin and Bob Brunig combined to make the tackle on Zonka, but it'll be third down now and 6. And Pisarcik in a situation where he has to almost definitely put it up. They're blitzing him, and they got him. A flag goes down. The Cowboys brought everybody.
I saw Kyle and Hughes both coming, the secondary people, and I think Hughes went over the top of the pile to hit number 9.
Pisarcik getting up very, very slowly. Let's watch that blitz again.
Make believe you're the quarterback for just a moment. That's long enough.
Randy White was on the bottom of that, along with Randy Hughes. So Jennings, number 13, back to punt for the Giants. Butch Johnson standing at his own 35 for Dallas. They're coming again. Good punt by Jennings, and Johnson puts up the hand for fair catch at the 30.
That was some kick.
It really was.
He started out in the PPK, didn't he, Jennings? Didn't he?
He was one of the winners. That was a 45-yard punt. And Dallas will take it over again. A minute 24 left third period. They still lead 34-21. Roger Staubach and receiver Drew Pearson in conversation right now as they come back to start this series. Pat Donovan, I see, is still at right tackle. Billy Joe Dupree, number 89, the tight end, goes to the left. Drew Pearson back as well. Dorsett and Newhouse, the setbacks. Pitch back to Newhouse. Billy Joe Dupree almost tackled Newhouse.
Well, I'll tell you, Brian Kelly came across number 55 early and really disturbed the play. And I'll tell you, the Giants are beginning to knock pretty hard. Remember, they did this against the Redskins in the last 2 or 3 minutes. They came on strong. There's some problem there, but I'll tell you, the Giants caused some of it.
Newhouse almost knocked off his guard. Billy Joe Dupree coming back to block. There's Pisarcik on the Giant bench. Butch Johnson split over to the right. Pisarcik on the phone with the coaches up in the press box. Fake. Staubach. That was a tough catch, or a tough attempt at a catch. It was thrown behind him. Ernie Jones on the coverage.
Drew Pearson already had 6 for 97 yards. Again, you lose a little bit of the intensity when you have a team apparently out of it. And Roger is forced, I think, about the last 3 passes he's thrown.
That's what he's done so far today. Golden Richards has just brought the play in from Tom Landry. An extra tight end has also joined the offensive huddle for Dallas. Jay Salby. Stopped by Clyde Powers, but a well-thrown pass.
Boy, the rifle worked that time. Dupree is going down to run a square out. He's going to have solo coverage. And by the way, back in the pocket, Tony Dorsett came back and made a pretty good block on a rushing defense. Watch to the left of your screen. Watch number 33 come back inside and get a piece of him and allow Roger to throw it. J.T. Turner was the blockee, or the blocked.
The end of the third quarter with the score Dallas 34, the Giants 21. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Lenny loses his cool when his apartment catches fire in the riotous premiere of Busting Loose, Wednesday night on CBS.
The shadow across the field at Texas Stadium. Of course, if you've never seen this place, there's a great huge hole in the roof.
On purpose.
Yeah. Miami 7, San Francisco 6, a first period score.
Patrick, I'm really proud of the Giant defense, and I'm not trying to belabor a point, but they could have just played out the second half.
That's right.
But they're not going to be humiliated. They have hit very well.
There's the hole in the top of the stadium that causes us those difficulties when the shadows come across the field like they are this afternoon. First down, Cowboys. The hand back to Dorsett. And Dorsett gets the ball knocked loose, but the whistle had blown. Brad Van Pelt on top of it, but Dorsett got about 5.
What does he accelerate?
Doesn't he? Gets in the hole about as fast as anybody I've ever seen. Here's Van Pelt trying to steal the football.
He's ripping it out of there.
Second and 5, 5-yard pickup by Tony Dorsett. Houston 16, Green Bay 10 now in the fourth period. Dorsett goes back into the shadows. Handoff straight ahead is Newhouse. Newhouse inside the 45 to about the 44, stopped by J.T. Turner.
Somebody threw his shoe out all the way back to where they'll huddle up. It's really getting a little bit nasty out there now. I thought somebody tackled Staubach almost before he made the handoff.
Laidlaw checks in. And watch Roger.
Watch how fast now they're coming. Mendenhall has Roger when he's trying to get the handoff.
Newhouse lost his shoe and went out. Third and about a yard. Staubach overthrows Drew Pearson. And Danny White comes strolling onto the field as the Giant. There's Newhouse taking care of the shoe problems in the shade.
I watched White before the game practicing on the corner kicks. Ditka was watching him rather closely, and he can airmail it inside the 10-yard line, perhaps as well as any punter I've seen for a while. I don't get to see Ray Guy very often, but I'm saying he can really do it.
It's quite an art, and one that didn't used to be practiced very much, but in recent years, since they changed the rules about punt coverage, people are trying it more often. So Danny White standing at his 40. The Giants are coming to try to block it. Oh, they almost got it. They heard him that time. Jim Steinke is the guy who came charging across in front of Danny White and hurried that punt. Nevertheless, it goes out of bounds. Well, they're going to mark it at the 16 where the Giants will take over. They trail 34-21. We have 13 minutes and a half left to play in this game.
I drive Ford pickup because my daddy told me they're built tough. Right, Daddy?
Right, and I bought a Ford pickup because my daddy told me they were built tough. Right, Daddy?
Yep, and I drive a Ford pickup because my daddy told me they were built tough. Right, Daddy?
That's right, yeah. My daddy came to Texas in a covered wagon. I had to learn about Fords on my own. I'm a smart old bird, ain't I?
Of all Ford trucks registered over the last 12 years, 93 out of 100 are still on the job.
Now try and forget the 10th largest life insurance company in America, Lincoln National Life. We're easy to remember.
Is it a fling or the real thing? Julie falls for an older man on the season premiere of One Day at a Time, Tuesday following MASH.
(34-21). 13 and a half minutes left to play. The Giants with the football at their own 16. First and 10. Joe Pisarcik, the quarterback. Straight ahead is Zonka.
Pisarcik is now 6 for 10, Pat, for 109 yards, including the long bomberoo he threw to Perkins. After the original fumble snap, he hasn't played that badly.
He really hasn't. That long bomb was 54 yards, by the way. Moorhead comes out. Marshall is in and split wide to the left. Perkins is right. 2nd and 7. Pisarcik going for Perkins. Benny Barnes right with him.
Smart, too. Benny Barnes got in front of him, and Perkins would have had to run through 31 to get there. Very clever move by... You can see that Perkins is reminding the official of it.
Perkins, the rookie from Abilene Christian. There's John McVeigh. In his second game, as in his first full year as the head coach of the Giants.
He's 500, you know, 3-4 last year and 1-0 this year. He said, now I'm only 500 away from where we want to be.
Ron Mikolajczyk was number 62 on the Giants sideline. Ball's at the 19. 3rd and 7. See if the Cowboys blitz. No. Zonka. Flag is down. Larry Cole made the tackle, but a flag is down, and a preliminary indication is holding against the Giants.
That was the draw we've been sort of looking for. Looked like maybe Tom Mullen had a problem with Too Tall Jones.
Cowboys probably will decline. At least the Giants think they will. Charlie Waters looking over to see what Tom Landry wants to do.
Holding, number 73, offense, declined,
That'll make it 4th down. And Dave Jennings is in to punt for the Giants. Jennings standing on about the 8. Butch Johnson standing back on the 30. Jennings has done a good job punting. His last one was 45 yards. Oh, first tried. Butch breaks 1. Breaks 2. The 46, a flag is down again. Butch Johnson got inside Giant territory. Let's see what the discussion is about back here.
Butch takes it on the dead run, which is such an advantage for the return man because the first 2 or 3 people that come by just slide by. Jennings really kicked it.
Inadvertent, no foul.
No foul.
How do you call a no foul?
I never heard that call before.
Here's Butch running it back.
Dangerous punt returner is Butch Johnson.
It's the first one of those we've ever had called. For lack of something better to do, we will call no foul.
Illegal use of the flag, right? 34-21. 12.5 minutes left to play in this contest. Cowboys look like they might run the Giants right out of this stadium in the early going in this game. The Giants have fought back. Still Staubach. This is Newhouse. Newhouse gets across about the 41. Where he's tripped up by Troy Archer.
And I'll tell you, Tony Dorsett came up and made a pretty good block for Newhouse. And that's going to be a proving point for Tony. He can carry it. Everybody knows that, including Roger Wright. But that he can block is another thing we didn't know. He did a pretty good job on that play.
Something he really never had to do in college. He was the deep back in that eye almost always. And it's hard to block from back there.
Well, if you're playing defense, though, and don't remember he's in there on the other side all the time.
It'll be 2nd and 6. Staubach overthrows, almost intercepted. Bill Bryant had a chance. A flag is down. It's going to be roughing the passer.
Mendenhall went by and gave Roger the assurance that, darn it, I was there. Watch to the right part of your screen and see if 64 beats Rafferty, 64. There he gets rid of it. Ball was gone. It's pretty hard to pull off your charge, though, and Mendenhall told him, you know, I was there and took the shot, but I didn't really mean it.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 64, defense. First down.
There's John Mendenhall. In the American League East, Boston beat Detroit 12-5, so the Red Sox will remain 2.5 games behind the Yankees.
4 field goals, huh? You ever seen such baseball scores at that level?
The other one was 15-0. That was the Yankees over Toronto. That one was 12-5. Danny White, I believe, is now the quarterback. Yes, he is. And he is saying, I'm not quite sure what it is you want to do, Coach. So let's go talk it over.
Let's see if we can sort of watch this conversation, see what transpires here.
That's Jim Myers with the headset on to Landry's right, entering in that conversation with Danny White and Landry.
Inside this new Firestone radial tire is an improved steel cord with 5 million miles of developmental testing. Where once we used 5 strands, we now use 10 strands of steel. 7 around 2, wrapped by 1. A cord construction so important, Firestone named the tire for it. 7, 2, 1. The new steel-belted radial 721. Now, from Firestone.
The Quintrix 2-color picture tube from Panasonic brings you a very lifelike picture. Because Quintrix 2 is our inline picture tube with an extra pre-focus lens that concentrates and focuses the electron beam to bring you Panasonic's sharpest picture ever. So lifelike, you may even feel you're part of the picture. Quintrix 2 One more reason Panasonic is just slightly ahead of our time.
Roger Staubach and Drew Pearson. Buffalo 6, Denver 3. That's in the second period. Drew Pearson getting a little refreshment. San Francisco now 9-7 over the Miami Dolphins. Second period. Tony Dorsett shifts deep on first down for the Cowboys at the Giant 27. Ralph Neely back in. And he was one of the ones who jumped.
Well, defense moved and leaned, and then the offense moved and leaned. Let's see.
Against the Cowboys.
This could be the crucial defensive series for New York. If they don't sort of stop this and slow it off.
False start, number 73, offense, first down.
Still first down for Dallas. The ball now back at the 32-yard line. (34-21). Dallas over the Giants. Danny White gives to Tony Dorsett.
Oh. He is running up the back of the offensive blockers, and they are really hustling because they know he's there. Watch this. Barely a little false start, and he is up behind Rafferty in that gang, and they're going to know that, so they're going to get out more quickly, and they know they don't have to do the cleanest job blocking, just hit somebody and get out of the way.
Rams over the Eagles, 7-0, second quarter. Tony Dorsett. There'll be some motion in a minute. Tony Hill. Inside handoff to Newhouse, who squirms out of one. John Mendenhall. Finally rolling over with Newhouse. Watch this from the end zone.
Watch the pressure from the right part of your screen. As the handoff takes place, you see that Mendenhall was right there, and Gregory is being dragged by Newhouse.
So it's a third down play coming up. Oakland nothing, Pittsburgh nothing. Second quarter. Danny White, the Dallas quarterback, on third down and 5. He shuttles a fake. Throw is down the middle. Intended for Golden Richards. Hit by Jim Stanky, and he knocked it loose.
Van Pelt was there too, bandaged arm and all. And I'll tell you that the Giants are hitting it a lick. They are hitting on defense. Here's the play over the middle. There's no more of the big openings down there that we saw in that first half. They've tightened it up.
And we'll have another look at number 1 right there, Efren Herrera. Look at this. San Diego in the fourth quarter over Kansas City, 23-7.
Pat, you watched Herrera warm up. Is he solid now after the miss in Minnesota?
He looks solid in the warm-up. He's already hit 2. Not this one. The Giants block it. The Giants have the football. It was Al Dixon, I believe, that blocked it, and Troy Archer that fell on it.
Archer is always around it when it's loose. If he doesn't make it, at least he falls on it, and the block came up the middle.
There's Troy Archer, who's had one heck of an afternoon in spite of that score. 10:15 left to play.
Cold night, Bob. Did you put in the Prestone antifreeze?
Prestone. Who needs Prestone?
Prestone. You need Prestone.
If your antifreeze is worn out or you don't have enough, you could be in trouble. So put in a fresh fill of Prestone, too, to prevent corrosion and freeze-ups.
Prestone! We need Prestone!
Prestone. You need Prestone.
Europe's most successful new car in history comes to America. Introducing Fiesta, now imported from Germany by Ford. Fiesta, 0 to 50 in an average of 8.8 seconds. Road gripping Michelin radial tires. The traction of front-wheel drive and excellent gasoline economy. Fiesta, Europe's most successful new car in history. Test drive one at your authorized Ford dealer now.
Look at down in the sun end of the field. A lot of people have just not been able to stand the heat and have gone home. And look at the fans working. And the people who have stayed.
Looks like one of those card sections at a collegiate game.
And nobody knows what's going on. At the 40, the Giants take over. Blocked field goal by Dixon. Joe Pisarcik, the quarterback, and the time comes to throw. And he does. Wide open is Gary Shirk. A flag is down as Shirk couldn't hang on. Big rush on Pisarcik by Harvey Martin. Gregory
Shirk is limping coming off. He had the touchdown pass late against the Redskins. It's going to be what, holding against the New York Giants?
Looks like it. Here's Gary Shirk coming to the bench now. Al Dixon, the guy who blocked the field goal a minute ago, is the other backup tight end behind Bob Tucker.
Ball was well thrown.
Holding, number 71, offense, first down.
Gordon Gravel was holding Harvey Martin. There's Gary Shirk. That's the final score now. San Diego defeated Kansas City 23-7.
Randy White just came back into the lineup, and Gregory went out, so Gregory did get some action today.
Gordon Bell and Willie Spencer, the running backs behind Pisarcik. Spencer. And another flag goes down. And Spencer took some shot. About 4 of the Cowboys converged around him, led by Benny Barnes.
Tell you what I liked, though, was the way he put it down and decided to take that shot himself. There was no looking for his sidelines and all, and he is a big back. He's about 238 or 240. Clipping.
Against the Giants. Baltimore beat Cleveland 9-4 in the American League East in baseball. Thus, they remain 2 games behind the Yankees, who won earlier, and the Red Sox are 2.5 back. They won earlier.
Clipping and holding 2 plays in a row. The Giants had, what, 12 penalties against the Redskins a week ago. It's just impossible to win.
Clipping, number 25, offense, first down.
Gordon Bell was the player called for clipping. So the ball is all the way back to the 19-yard line. It'll be first down still, but 31 yards to go. A little bit over 10 minutes left to play. Dallas 34, the Giants 21. Larry Cole lined up right on the head of the center route hill. Thrown behind Robinson. Pisarcik again under a heavy rush. A 4-man rush put on by Randy White, Ed Jones, Larry Cole, and Harvey Martin.
I tell you, number 9 has a live arm, though. Even the one he overthrew Perkins down here earlier when Barnes had him well covered. He can cut it loose and rifle it. It is not a dead ball. He's got a lot of power in it.
He's got a little bit of a sidearm motion that would remind you of a little bit of Y.A. Tittle. And if he ever gets himself in that class, they've got something.
But he's got a head of hair that you won't believe.
Which, of course, Mr. Tittle was without. Second down. Pisarcik goes back. They're coming after him. Larry Cole and group. Picked off by Randy Hughes. Randy Hughes breaks a couple of tackles. Gets back to the 35. Emery Moorhead made the tackle. A pass that should not have been thrown.
Chance to run for a few yards. By the way, Pisarcik helped on that tackle with Moorhead. But he is mad at himself. Watch this. He's got a chance to, once he does beat the wave, and that's a little scary with Cole and Randy White after you and Harvey Martin. He could have probably picked up 7 or 8 yards. You're right, the throw wasn't necessary. Watch him come and get in on the tackle, though.
There's Joe Pisarcik. Dallas owns the football at the 35. Denver's going ahead of Buffalo now in the second period, 10-6. Danny White, Tony Dorsett, and Scott Laidlaw. The Dallas setbacks. Here's Dorsett. There is Dorsett.
We know he's not that big. We've heard how quick he is. Well, watch the cut at full speed here. And now he sees the flag, and you can forget it now. Oh, my goodness. How many draft choices? It sounds like a very cheap trade to me.
Sure does. That's one you'll see on the highlights a lot of times. Boy, is he quick.
Can't slow it down either. It's all flat out full speed.
Herrera with Charlie Waters holding. It is now 41-21. Is that worth another look? Watch him accelerate.
5'11", about 184 pounds. I'm telling you, the Dallas defensive people have told us he does this in practice, and sometimes they don't touch him, and they come back to the huddle sort of mumbling.
Sort of ironic. A few years ago, the Dallas Cowboys had another outstanding prospect, a great runner who wore that same number, Dwayne Thomas.
Dwayne Thomas, that's right. Well, this young man seems to have his head in the right place, and he's waited for his chance, and he'll still have to share some of the duties with Preston Pearson, I'll tell you that.
It's 41-21, and now they have something to cheer about. St. Louis beat the Chicago Bears 16-13, so that makes both those teams now 1-1. We'll have a chance next week to see the Cardinals against the Redskins.
Hey, that's right. That should be a good football game, and Tampa Bay has the job of playing the Dallas Cowboys, huh?
That doesn't look like it's going to be a very pleasant prospect, although the Tampa Bay Buccaneers played very well last night against Minnesota. The Vikings just beat them 9-3 in the event you didn't know that.
They've got 7 All-Americans on that young defensive team, but the key word there is young. They are young.
And they're playing good defense. Here's Herrera. Emery Moorhead and Gordon Bell back in the sunlight for the Giants. 41-21 the score. It's going to be Bell at the 1. The wedge comes to the right, and so does he. Guy Brown, the linebacker who made the tackle.
That's where all the linebackers pay their penance for the Cowboys. They can't play for 3 or 4 years, so they go on the special teams, and if they work out, they stay, and if they don't, some other team has a good linebacker around the league. It's quite a proving ground.
Right at the 20 is where Bell got it. You can almost feel the heat coming off that field all the way up here. A lot of the crowd starting to leave, particularly where that sun is still looking them right in the face. 41-21 Dallas. 9:29 left to play. Joe Pisarcik, the Giant quarterback. And he's going to throw again. He's going to try to throw again. Gregory. Ed Jones made him step up into the pocket. And Jones and Gregory took him down.
But Pisarcik learned not to throw it when you're under heavy heat. Put it away. Remember, Gregory has been a great pass rusher in the past.
He was not dressed last week against Minnesota. This is Bill Gregory we're talking about. There's John McVay looking on with 9 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in this contest. 2nd down and 17 for Pisarcik. Lone setback for Zonka. Pisarcik fired. Waters was close. Kyle deflected it. That is Aaron Kyle.
Underneath, that's where those people seem to come out of the numbers and raise up against a rookie quarterback.
There's Jack Gregory.
Soybeans are in, huh? How do you get soybeans out?
You got to dig him up, I think.
I tell you, he's a good farmer. He's also been a real good football player in this league. And the Giants are getting identity again, though. It's going to be fun in New York, you know.
3rd and 17. Tough spot for young Joe Pisarcik. Patterson flank Joe. Sprint out. goes to Gordon Bell. Bell gets away from a couple, gets out back to the original line of scrimmage before Benny Barnes and